I've just welded this top beam back on, not fully, just tacked it in. Had a strap here to draw it all together nice. That's heavy. Got you. I've turned this over so I can weld the seams in here, all the way along there, and that will equal the stress now in that bow that it does in that bow, because I spoke in another video that I've managed to warp that bottom piece like that. Because of welding a lot on this side of this piece of material, it's warped it in that direction.
Can I get your hand to ride on? Just a piece of leg to bite on. What a night to fly my kite on.
Inside seam's done. As you do the outside ones, I'm going to lay it down flat to get a better weld. Oh, I need to grind those channels off because I don't need them anymore. They were holding all the uprights dead straight while the bottom beam got seamed in. Tidy up the tacks for a couple of flat discs. Lorry's just arrived with panels for a chiller, not a chiller, a freezer. The almost very final touches of the back of the farm shop we've been doing is a freezer. You saw us build that big chiller unit for the farm shop, and the second stage of that is building a freezer to replace a few different smaller freezers to make them more efficient. So these two pallets are freezer panels. Pallet number one, don't drop it, steady. They just come like big Lego, these things. Lots of panels, join them all together, stuck an air conditioning unit on it to make the air cold and dry. Pallet number two, I've not seen many lorries like that with a nice shelf up the top, it's handy. It is a monster of a lorry, it's got kind of curved roof or aero. Voila, that is a freezer. I'll do the snap the fingers and then it'll be built, but not in the shed obviously. That was rapid. Dad's loaded up with 2 wheels and some impact gun in the sockets because the other van, that Stan who delivers eggs in, he's got a puncture. Dad's off to save him. Subscribe if you've not already. Away on a rescue mission. Not sure if those wheels are off of the other 2 vans. Our 3 vans are 3 different brands of vans, so I'm not sure if the stud pattern's exactly the same, but those are the spares we've got. We'll go and see what happens. I'm just getting these tacks off, which is going fine. There's a couple I've taken a bit of a gouge out, so I might put a bit of weld in there and then grind it back and just flush it up, tidy it up. Another hurdle to jump over. My welder's just packed in. The drive motor for the wire is goosed. I think it's just packed in. It's giving up the ghost. You operate the speed dial to turn it up, which is here. So that controls your wire speed, and it just does nothing. So I pull this trigger, the wire, it's not going to move now because I've taken that pinch off, but this motor, so I'll put it at low speed, that's it right down as slow as it should go, and I'll turn it right the way up, where it should go pretty rapid. It's just... Wow, nice and dusty in there. That's the motor up there. You know what's quite funny? In the inside of this MIG welder, the weld that they've put in, it's full of porosity. Anyway, aside from that, motor up there, it must have just died, given up the ghost. I'll need to get that off, unplug it and find another one. Quite a bit of heat in some of these windings. I'm going to get that sorted out later. I've not actually got much welding to do until I was going to take it to Tullibard and Smithy to get the brackets done, so I'll just ask them to finish off the last few welds. It's starting to come to life. Just gonna whack it on the trailer, get it on the road. You can see these seams are not done, so I'll get Tullyburden to do those seams as well as putting the new brackets on it. Just had something to drop off here at yard 3. Now off to Tullyburden Smithy to drop off that stone grate. Hey beast. Hey pal. What are you looking at, pal? Are you missing a tag? I think it's got a metal tag. It's got a metal tag. If you get an inspection and you've not got fully tagged beasts, you get a slap on the wrist. They've all to have 2 tags that has their passport number on them. You get varying different types. You get these yellow plastic ones, they're the most common. You get them in a few different sizes. You get quite a lot of metal, guys do a lot of metal tags. They're small things and they clip over the top of the lug. So that's a metal one. It's annoying because they're tricky to see and tricky to get a number off of unless you've got them in the headstock. And then you get a big yellow one like that. So we do all our own calves with 2 big yellow ones. Semi-regularly, they do lose tags. They catch it on gates, they catch it on whatever, rip it out. So you do have to just keep an eye on them and replace them. Quite a few people have asked, what's a stone grape? Stone grape, here's a picture of one. It mounts on the front of the tractor, got all the tines in it that sit in those collars, and when it's on the front of the tractor, one, it adds a bit of weight, a bit of a ballast to whatever's on the back of the tractor, plough in our case most of the time, and 2, it provides a place to put stones. So when you're out in the field ploughing, you can pick up all the stones, because we don't like stones in the field. They're bad for machinery, they can be scooped up by the combine, so we pick them all up. So that's what a stone grape is for, picking up all the stones around the field. And if you mount it on a hydraulic ram, which we're going to on the top link of the tractor at the front, you can then kind of dig. So if there's stones that are just keeking out, but are quite big, and you can't shift them by hand or with a spade, or it would take ages, you just get under with a stone grape and pull it out. And anyway, next stop, Tullyburden Smithy. We're here. There she goes. She'll be back soon. Job done, away home we go. Right, I'm back at yard 3. I'm picking up some rapeseed pellets, and I've got a new hat in chaff-free Whisky. It's a new Whisky, which is actually our own barley. At yard 3 here, there's a producer of rapeseed oil. This is our oilseed rape, pressed and made into nice dressings and oils. And he, over the last few years, has been developing a Whisky. There we go. Which is from the barley we grow on this farm. He's just getting some photographs taken out in the bales out there, so I'll show you a few bottles. Anyone who likes whiskey.
That is good.
That's cool, isn't it?
That is very cool.
Picture that.
So that the way in it as well. So without and then with.
Oh, I think
that
good.
That shadow kind of makes it feel like it's like an opera singer in the middle of a stage kind of thing, doesn't it? Like
with the what do you call them?
Right, Mark here, who is in charge of this whole shindig, has just been taking pictures of his whiskey. Go on, does a sales pitch.
So here we go. 3 years ago, we bottled our whiskey. It's now 3 years and 1 day old, therefore legal whiskey using barley from Ferniefold, farmed by the Crawfords here.
Grown by us.
Yes, indeed.
Must be good.
We're going to give it a sample in a few days' time, see what it comes out like. It's going to be a top quality dram for everyone to try over the coming months.
And I'll get a free bottle, what?
You may. You get a free taster.
I'll taste it, I'll take it. Anyway, if you're interested, in Chaffrey, there it is. Have a look on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot.
Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
There you go. Have a look there. I'll put a link down there. Right, we've made it. I've strapped these down to the moon. Horrible things to drive with. And yes, I have once upon a time dropped one of these off the trailer. Not on the main road, on a farm road, thankfully. And it spilt everywhere. Lining these hoops up is like being plaster drunk trying to get a key in a doorway to get to your bed. Just takes flipping ages. This bag's seen better days. Well, it looks like I didn't put the pins in again. That's better. You can see, even though I did bed them yesterday, back there's alright, but round here, wetter than an otter's pocket, so I'm going to bed them again today. Especially now, they're starting to come into calving time, so I don't want calves born onto this muck and into a mess. So just keep it as fresh as I can now for the next 3 months. When they're not calving, you can get away with it being a bit less fresh all the time. Still like it to be nice, but when they're calving, you don't want a calf to be born straight into a pile of wet muck. You want them onto nice, fresh, dry bedding so they don't get cold, because they come out obviously soaking wet. It wouldn't take long for them to get cold if there was a wind howling in that door and they were lying a pile of muck and they weren't drying off. It wouldn't be long till they get shivery cold, and that could really hit them hard at that early stage. So when we're calving, we keep this dry and fresh as possible. Calves born onto it, and immediately the straw is starting to soak up the moisture. All of a sudden it's dark. Anyway, get his trailer off, abandon Dad's car. I've got the Land Rover again. We'll just wick this in the shed. One thing I need to do here at the cows is put the calving camera back up and reroute the wiring, because I put quite a big extension on it and I didn't realise that the voltage drop was slowing down the camera, so I need to move that so it's on a really short extension but still in a good position to view the cattle from.